Hey, what's going on, guys? Big Chris here in the KXTR studios. I'm hanging out with DJ Big Bopper. What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Feeling pretty good today.
Yeah, a little cold, dreary day, but that's all right. We're warm here in studio. We got our friend Rowdy Decker here with us. Rowdy, how's it going, man?
Oh, man, it's going good.
Going good, man. All right, well, let's just jump right into it, man. Let's get a little background information on you, Rowdy. Let's. When did you start playing music, man? What led you into this? What made you decide this is something I want to do?
Man, I started playing music, started playing the fiddle in my family's bluegrass band when I was about 6, and I played fiddle up until I was about 14, and then I put it down and started rodeoing, and then I picked up the guitar when I was about 17 and started playing.
Everything just kind of fell into place from there, huh?
Yes, sir.
So who were some of your influences growing up? Who were the sounds you heard?
Man, a lot of the music that I like to listen to is a lot of Merle Haggard, George Jones, and some of the new guys, Jason Isbell. I don't know if y'all heard of them.
Yep, just bought his record last week, actually.
He's awesome. Those 3 guys really put it together for me.
Yeah, well, we definitely need some more of that sound. I wish that kind of stuff would come back. Too much pop country stuff out there right now, if you're asking me.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you, how do you balance, music with your everyday life? Jobs, school, anything like that?
Well, I go to school part-time and I work for myself, so it's a lot of late nights, but...
Yeah, but working for yourself, though, you kind of get to make your own schedule, so
yeah.
I'm sure that definitely helps everything out.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, man. So what are some of the big names? Have you played with any big names out there? Gone on any kind of, mini road trips, tours, any things like that?
This weekend, we're opening for Jamie Richards at the Finishline. Jamie Richards, I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yep.
He's the biggest one so far. My producer is Steve Stewart, and he ran with Janie Fricky, played drums and bass for her. And Dan Seals, you heard of Dan Seals? Yep. Yeah, he played bass for him for 3 years. And so he's really the biggest name in it so far, and he's kind of my backup. He's backing me up and everything.
Steve Stewart. You said that was your producer?
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's a good name to have in your back pocket then, I'd say.
Yes, sir.
So, you mentioned that your family had a bluegrass band growing up. Tell us, a little bit about that, because obviously, I'm sure a lot of your memories growing up were around music, if your family was that heavily involved in the music scene.
Oh, yeah. No, Granddad plays a little bit of everything, and his main instrument is the mandolin. Mom played the bass in our family band. Dad played the guitar, brother played the banjo, and I was on the fiddle, and we had a little 5-piece that would go to festivals. They call them festivals, in the bluegrass world. We'd go to Del Rio. One time we went to Guthrie, Oklahoma, playing all kinds of different bluegrass gigs, and man, we just had a blast doing it. We didn't, it wasn't for money or anything like that. We just went and played and just had a good old time.
Yeah, well, as long as you're doing something you love, you never work a day in your life, right? Ain't that what they say?
Exactly.
So tell us, what are some of the records you're listening to right now, man? What's something, if we go through your iPod or your CD player or whatever, what are you listening to these days?
Man, if you went through my my YouTube history on what I was listening on the way over here, a song that hit me on the way over here was 5 More Minutes by Scotty McCreery. And I'm not big into that pop country, but I don't know why, man. That song hit me, and I listened to that the whole way over here, just over and over and over.
Well, I will admit this. I don't know if I should, but man, I'm a fan of Scotty McCreery. I'm not gonna say I know every single one of his songs or or anything like that, but the kid's definitely he's paid his dues.
Yeah,
he's definitely got some good music.
That's the only song I know of his, honestly. But something about it, he talks about his granddad in the end, and it got to
off
me.
The record, I'll tell you to check some more of that out, but. We'll hope nobody too close to us hears that. Speaking of records, though, let's talk about your record, man. Title track on it is Stephenville. Tell us a little bit about that song in particular. Obviously it's got some Stephenville influence, but is there anything else, that helped you write that one?
I started out, I was dating my girlfriend for, we weren't exactly dating, but we were hanging out, I was trying to get her in the back pocket, so, and I would come to Stephenville at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night driving from Brock, and that's a 45-minute drive, You get out here at 11 and hang out for 45 minutes, have dinner, sit by a fire or whatever, and then I'd usually end up going back home. And so I'm thinking, well, I sure do love coming to Stephenville so much, just flying down 281 to get here and then taking a slow drive going home. Get home, go to bed and get up and go to work and do the same thing the next day. And so, just I'd be sitting at home by myself and thinking, man, it's not like nights like these, I want to go flying down 281.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of surprising, actually, if when you get into this kind of music, how many songs Highway 281 has actually inspired across this state. How many people have written songs. You think of Stephenville alone, you think of guys Dolly Shine, Six Market Boulevard, stuff like that. How many of those songs they wrote running up and down these same highways that we're on.
Oh, yeah.
Every day. So it's definitely cool to hear that, that influence is still growing, and that influence keeps going as those older bands start to kind of fade out, if you will. So tell us, more about this album. Where did you cut this album at? Who did you cut it with? Do you have a studio band? Do you have a full band you travel with? How does that work?
We had when we were building or creating the record, we had a studio band, and Steve Stewart actually, I was playing at Finishline bar one night at an open mic, and Mr. Stewart came across and he said, man, you got a good voice. I really want to record you. And I said, okay. So went over to his house, and man, I showed him the songs that I play, and we just started working on it, and he produced the whole thing. And the name of his studio is the Doghouse Studio. And man, we just took it from there, and I built a little band with some of my buddies, and we got, we're kind of traveling together now, hoping to get a bunch of gigs. We got 3 months worth of gigs coming up every weekend. So
anything local around here, go ahead and plug them, man. That's what you're here for. Let's hear it.
Man, it's all local. Every Sunday from 4 to 7 we're playing at Finishline bar. That's in Aledo.
Okay.
Or right just past Aledo on the county line. And every Friday night we play at Canyon West Bar and Grill, or I guess it's called Sundance Grill, but it's at Canyon West in Weatherford. And got to go talk to Mr. Cesar Castillo here in a minute, give him a little shout. Over there at Bar C, we're going to try to hook Bar C, Bostock, stuff like that. We're trying to get in some good local Stephenville stuff that, this song is for Stephenville. I want Stephenville to hear it. So,
right. Well, I've given that track a listen. You definitely hear the name drops there, the Bar C and the Rockin' P and stuff like that. Places that anybody's gone to school here or spent time here are definitely familiar with, I like to think.
Oh, yeah.
Met many a good friends at those places myself. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but there's 5 tracks on the album. Is that, how many tracks you guys plan to cut for that? Were there extra tracks? Kind of, and if so, how do you decide personally? How do you decide what makes a cut and what doesn't? What goes on the final product?
Man, it was a really hard decision. I've got 11 songs that are mine, and I didn't even really want to do a cover, but it was in the back of my mind whether I should put Co Wetzel's Love cover on there, and my producer said, man, you really ought to just put that on there, let me hear it. He'd never heard it before, and we played it and he loved it. And so I really wanted to do 5 originals, but if I could go back, I really would do it the same way I've done it, because a lot of people like to hear the one cover on there. But in October, I plan to add to it. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Stephenville is the name of the album. Rowdy Decker is in studio with us right now. I'm here with Big Bob, keeping quiet over there, I guess. You got any questions for him, man? Go ahead. I got some more, but hop in here if you feel.
Well, definitely, man. You said you planned on getting more music in. So when do you plan on producing a new album, or is it going to be added to this album, or what's your ideas with that?
It's going to be added to this album. After I sell all those CDs and people kind of understand, hey, this guy's in it or whatever, we're going to add to it. I'm going to do a single in probably late June, early July, and this song is going to be called Granddaddy. It's about my granddad, and man, it's my favorite song to play, really, because me and him work all the time together, and he's the biggest life inspiration, for me. So that song's going to kind of be for him. But I'm going to add that as a single and just put it on iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. And then in October, maybe November, but we're looking for October, we're going to make the full album. And it's going to be the same art you know, as the what's on there as the cover, but just going to be added songs. There should be 11 or 12.
Okay. And you'd said that you're going to be doing this, like, once you sell all these albums, all these CDs, where can people get them if they're looking to trying to get your music, man?
Man, you can get on iTunes, Spotify, you know, whatever, download it digitally. But if you want a physical copy, holler at me, you know, message me on Facebook, whatever. I'll mail you one, or you can come to one of the shows and pick one up. We've always got plenty.
Let me hop in here and add something, you know, for the people that are listening. I use Spotify myself. You know, I use iTunes every now and again as well. But the best way that you can support these local artists, the best way you can support this up-and-coming talent is to buy a physical copy of the album.
Amen.
You know, if you'll actually look into how much money these guys make off your Spotify spins, I think it's like 1/12 of a penny or something like that. You know, I saw a picture months back. You know, somebody had 1 million spins on Spotify and got a check for like $14. You know, these streaming services are great and all, don't get me wrong. I love using them. They're very convenient, you know, for your personal listening. But if it's something that you have a passion about it, you know, if it's a musician or whatever that you want to support, the best way to do it, buy a physical album from them. You know, like Rowdy said, message him on, you know, Facebook. You got a Twitter or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Facebook, Twitter, you know, hell, Instagram, whatever you guys can get to him on. Go to a show, go check things out, buy the physical album. It helps them out a lot more than, you know, just your digital online spins do.
Certainly, man. And you had mentioned about your grandfather. Was he also in the bluegrass band with your family? Did he
Yes,
have
sir.
a lot of that music? So did he kind of start the whole thing, or how that?
Man, he definitely started it all. I mean, he's the root of all. I would say he's the last living root of the music in our family. You know, he plays everything, and if we needed someone to jump into our little family deal, you know, a second rhythm guitar, mandolin, another bass, a dobro, whatever, you know, he's always been the guy that can pick it up and do it. And the reason I'm waiting to add Granddaddy to the album is right now he's been working on his steel guitar skills, you know. And I just thought that'd be really awesome if he played steel behind that song, you know.
So you had written this inspiration, of course, you said from your grandfather, and he's actually going to be in the song with you?
That'd be awesome, yeah. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really good, man. Have you brought it up to him at all? Does he know anything about it?
Yeah. He came to the album release and I played that song in front of him with the whole band behind us, you know, and he I wouldn't say he teared up, you know, just 'cause, but I think he did. I mean, this is a guy that's been through Vietnam, you know. He's died 10 times and yet he's still living. You know what I mean? But
certainly, man. I can only imagine, man. They're some of the toughest people we know, our grandparents, man.
Yes, sir.
Getting like that. I definitely understand that. But you got that coming up. You said you mentioned some of those local shows. Is there anything else you want to add? You want to plug out, let people know?
Man, y'all just come out and listen to some good music. That's all I got to say.
For sure, man.
Well, there it is, man. Rowdy Decker. The name of the album is Stephenville. That is the title track on it. Matter of fact, to tell you what, we're going to spin that for you guys right now. Rowdy, thank you very much for being here, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Friday night, that's where I go. She's in a pretty little town tucked back in the hills. It feels like heaven on earth when I'm in Stephenville. We can go downtown and tear up our scene. Go play some Jenga at that rockin' pea. But the nights that I seem to love the most is when we're sitting by the fire and she's holding me close. It's nights nights like these, I wanna go flying down to 81. I'll do anything just to get back in her loving arms. Lord, there's no words to explain just how I feel when I'm with that girl in Stephenville. She's a good Christian girl going to school, and I'm just a broke cowboy trying to play it cool. Hell, she's better than me in so many ways. Lord, that's easy to see when there's a smile on her face. It's nights like